Hi there. Today I wanted to talk about 6 office essentials for music entrepreneurs. Now, if you already have a fully electronic system that you're happy with and it helps you manage your to do lists, calendars, project management, and all that kind of stuff, I'm not asking you to radically alter the way you do things, but today I will be talking primarily about a paper based system. And there is tremendous value in hard copy backups. Earlier this year, my computer went haywire, so I lost a lot of the passwords that I'd stored in my browser, which meant that I had to go and restore a lot of my login information and have to go through the password recovery process in some cases to be able to log back into some of the apps and social media sites that I use. So that should speak to the value of hard copy backups. And if you'd like to learn more about paper-based systems, and this is primarily what I've based mine off of, I would encourage you to have a look at David Allen's book, Getting Things Done. There's a lot of great tips in there, and you don't even have to apply all of it. He even tells you that in the book. So it's a great read, but let's get into it. So the first item is something we all need, pens, right? It doesn't really matter what brand you choose. I just like the 12 packs because they're affordable and they're probably going to last me longer than the whole year. So pens are pretty essential. The next item, number 2, is index cards. I prefer the 4x6 rather than the 3x5. I ended up finding the 3x5 to be much too small for what I was using them for. And I'm not going to use up 250. This is a 250 pack in a year. There's no way. But I use them for taking notes on the books that I read. I generally do read about a book a week, which is 52 books in a year. And every single one, I have an index card inside the book in which all of my notes are stored. And sometimes I also use index cards just to write down address and directions for the places I'm going to. Item number 3. In this case is a yellow legal pad, but really any note-taking device or notebook or pad of paper will work just fine. This is for making your to-do lists. I used to make my to-do lists on my index cards, and that worked for a while, but then my to-do list was blown out of proportion, and I ended up having so many things to do, and I wasn't able to write it all down on one side of an index card, which is why I ended up moving over to the yellow legal pad. But again, you can use whatever works for you. Just make sure to write down everything you actually need to do because your brain is a horrible organization system. So it's better to write everything down, and that way you will actually remember it. Number 4 is a desk calendar. This is a real lifesaver because for anybody that has a busy schedule, I do a lot of performances. I write a lot of blog posts for various clients and different companies. There's so many things on the go, whether it's social events or networking events, and I put that all in my calendar so I can see what's coming up next. It's easy to miss some of those things with digital calendars, especially if you have them in the weekly view rather than the monthly view. If you can see the full month, that's fine. If you're already using stuff like Google Cal, that's totally fine too. But for me, this works a lot better. Item number 5. This is a black book. It does not have to be a literal black book, but this is where you would store all of your sensitive login information for various sites. And obviously you should keep it out of the way when people are around and make it not easily discoverable or findable. If you want to put it in a safe, then you can totally do that as well. But in my case, I use a Moleskine to take down all of that important information. And finally, you can't see it, but in front of me, I have 2 whiteboards, one slightly bigger and one slightly smaller. Now, I admit that I don't make the most effective use of these business tools, but they are among the best business tools, believe it or not. You could write out entire systems or system and procedure diagrams on them, take a picture, and then send them off to your employees or team to be able to view. You can use them for conferences. You could use them for talking head videos like this one, where you want to do a bit of a presentation. You can use them for brainstorming sessions. There's so many great uses for whiteboards, and anything that you need to keep in front of you, like goals, although I still encourage you to use pen and paper to write down your goals. They're really great for that as well. So those are 6 essentials for music entrepreneurs. Another great thing to have is some kind of note-taking device. So this is kind of getting into the bonus section now. But I think Evernote is so good, and you can pretty much take it with you as long as you have a device. You can use it on your smartphone, your tablet, your laptop, or your desktop, and you can store everything more or less permanently within Evernote. So I think it's a great tool for note-taking, but you can also use a notebook if you prefer the paper-based system. Hope you enjoyed this, and let me know what you're using to move your career forward.